Hello, this is DracoFlame67 with an announcement video. A couple days ago, I practiced streaming on YouTube for this particular series coming up. I plan on doing a Nuzlocke of Digimon Story Sleuth, and I decided if I can, I should stream it to give my audience an opportunity to help me nickname my Digimon and maybe help me choose evolution options. But before I start that series proper, I just wanted to make this video in order to explain what the rules of this Nuzlocke challenge are, because the Nuzlocke challenge is a specific kind of self-imposed challenge for Pokemon games, and those rules need to be adapted and adjusted a little to account for the differences in gameplay between the Pokemon series and Digimon Story Sleuth. So let's start with how the Nuzlocke challenge generally is. There are 3 rules to any Nuzlocke. The first is only one Pokemon can be caught on any given route. And the second rule is if a Pokemon faints, it's considered dead and can't be used for the rest of the run. It's either put in the box permanently or released. And then the third rule is you have to nickname everything. Now, these rules can all be integrated more or less into Sleuth seamlessly, but we do have to make some adjustments for a couple of them. First, I want to talk about how encounters work in Digimon, because it's a little bit different than how they work in Pokemon. So say we want to go into Digital Space 12. There's a list of Digimon we can encounter here. So we enter here. Notice that the format of Sleuth, you have 3 Digimon in your party at any given time. So you can encounter between 1 to 3 Digimon at any given time. For example, we can encounter 2 Yokomon and 1 Wormmon in this one fight. And you notice that the scan data actually went all the way to 100 for both of them. So this fight, I'm going to end up getting possible conversions for both of these Digimon. This is something that can't happen in Pokemon generally, because the way Pokemon works is, for most of the single-player experience, it's single battles, so you only see one Pokemon at a time. And even when you have double battle encounters, when there are very rare, but when you have double battle wild encounters, you can choose one Pokemon to throw a Pokeball at. The way Digimon encounters work is that you have to battle the same Digimon multiple times in order to get the scan data up to 100% to allow you to convert that into a Digimon you can use for yourself. What I'm planning is that the first Digimon of any given route the first Digimon in any area that we get to 100% scan is going to be our scan. And our Digimon we encounter, we recruit for that area. But then what happens is, like in this case, it's possible that we have the same Digimon scanned more than once, or we have more than one Digimon scanned at the same time, which is what happened here. So if we just end the fight. And see that Wormmon and Yokomon both got to 100% at the same time. So how I would handle this situation is, well, we can choose. So if we go to DigiConvert and see Wormmon and Yokomon are both 100%, we just got them. What I'm planning to do is we're going to convert both, but we only get to pick one to keep. The other we're going to return to data. That's the equivalent of releasing Pokemon in the Pokemon series. So, right, it's gone, and you can't use it anymore. So, now the one I'm going to pick is, well, let's say I want Wormmon, because Wormmon is a free Digimon that's a rookie, which gives me function call level 2. Yokomon can actually evolve into Wormmon as one of its options, but I'm gonna go with Wormmon instead, so we don't have to evolve up. So I'm gonna pick the Wormmon. And we're also going to convert the Yokomon too. Now, returning to data. Wait, select the Digimon that you want to return to scan data. The Digimon will be terminated and the scan rate of the same Digimon will be increased to 100. Oh. Huh. Okay, maybe we can't do this. I was gonna return the Digimon to data and do nothing, but that increases this. It increases the scan rate of that Digimon by 100%. So you're able to immediately recruit another one. So no, we can't do this. So what we're gonna do instead is, we're just gonna leave Yokomon in the bank so that we can't use it. But in that case, we can move Wormmon into our party. Let's say, I don't know, let's just drop off Tyrant. So I never actually returned anything to data. I did not know you increased that Digimon scan rate by 100%. So we're not going to do that. Instead, we are going to convert both, so that resets our scan data. That way, if we happen to run into a Wormmon or a Yokomon in a different area, do we have... oh, yeah. So, in Avalon server, you can also encounter Wormmon in Avalon server. That way, this makes sure that if a Digimon occurs in multiple areas, right, getting the conversion anyway, that makes sure that different areas, if they have the same Digimon multiple times, there's still a chance of getting that Digimon a second time, or getting that Digimon that you converted but you aren't allowed to use in your party, you can convert. So that makes nicknaming your Digimon even more important, because any Digimon without a nickname, we know we converted because we got a tie and to reset its scan rate. So what we're going to do is, so that's why nicknaming is extremely important. One of the reasons. And thankfully, we don't have to go to a specific location for a name rater to nickname our Digimon. As long as they're in our party of 11, we can change their name at any point. So let's say this is... I don't know. Because we encountered it in digital space, I think it was 11. I'm just going to call it... or no, it was space 12. Yeah. Let's get a nickname at space 12. And this, right, lets us know that this Digimon is the one we got in that area, and we can't get another one from that area. But we can get, right, there is a chance we can get a Wormmon somewhere else, or a Yokomon somewhere else as well. Now, that's the adjustments we have to make to the first rule, because of how encounters work differently. The second thing is, right, the second rule is, because of, right, if a Digimon dies, right, it's supposed to stay dead. Now, we can more or less play this rule as it is in Pokemon. So what we do is just make sure that, right, revival capsules we can't use, but there is something that I want to take into account. In the Pokemon series, there isn't a single move out there that allows a Pokemon to revive one of its allies. However, in Digimon, there is. Say, Kirinmon here, it learns Revive by level up, at level 35, and it can also evolve into Seraphimon, who learns Perfect Revival at level 80. Revive revives one Digimon at half health. Perfect Revival revives both ally Digimon at the same time at full health. Now, these moves, because they exist, and Digimon are able to revive their allies in Cyber Sleuth, what I'm thinking is, while revival capsules will be banned, revival skills will be allowed. If a Digimon happens to learn a move that can revive one of its allies, I'm going to let them use it. So, in case if you have a Digimon that's able to revive and one of your Digimon dies, there is an opportunity to bring them back before the end of the fight. Because the way this game works is if a Digimon ends a battle dead, let's actually take our Wormmon and actually show off what happens. Let's go to an area with really strong Digimon. Taking an Eden, sure. Okay, so Space 12 is dead. Now let's just end the fight. So when Digimon dies, they don't gain experience from the fight. I need to... But what happens is, a Digimon is automatically revived at full health. Or not at full health, at 1 HP. So you are unable to use revival skills or capsules outside of battle. That way, if a Digimon dies in battle, they only have until the end of that fight in order to bring them back. Once that revival at 1 HP happens, that's it, we can't use them anymore. So, we would have to take this out of our party. And at that point, I would probably add, just to make sure I keep track of who's dead and who's not before we get to the Digilab, I would add dead to their name, just to make sure that I know they're dead, they can't be used anymore. And then what would happen after they're dead is we can move them we can move them not on the farm, we can't participate in farm. We can put them in the DigiBank, or I was thinking return them to data, but again, if that increases the scan rate of that Digimon by 100%, that would interfere in scan rates. So instead of returning them to data, what we're going to do is take them, right, change their nickname to dead and put them in the bank. But I still want, actually, yeah. But I still want this Wormmon in my party to talk about what happens with evolution, because that's another thing that we need to take into account, because the main conceit of Digimon as a multimedia franchise that makes it distinct from Pokemon is that Digimon have multiple evolution options as a rule. With Pokemon, some Pokemon can evolve into different things, but those are generally the exception, and every Pokemon are generally limited by what they can evolve into. Like, say okay, well, since Wormmon is a bug, let's use a bug example. Wurmple can evolve into Silcoon or Cascoon at random, but like if you get a Caterpie or a Weedle, they're defined more or less by how Butterfree and Beedrill will end up performing. Wormmon, on the other hand, can evolve into a bunch of different stuff. Right? We've got 6 things, one of which is not going to be available. Hoodimon we can't use it, not unless we beat Hacker's Memory. That's not going to be something we have, but 5 options. Right, Ice Devimon, Kabuterimon, Kuwagamon, Stingmon, or Waspmon. Right, we've got 4 different bugs and a Ice Devil. And say... and say we go back, say we go somewhere to level it up. Base 5, whatever. And I want to talk about what happened. I want to talk about how the extra rule we need. Right? We have the adjustments to encounters, the adjustments to perma-death. Right? Revival skills are allowed, but revival capsules are banned. And now we need to talk about how evolution is going to work. Because I have beaten this game without using any items and without letting any Digimon die. But in order to do that, I had to go back and forth through a bunch of different evolution options to get all the best inherited skills and put them all on overpowered Digimon that will ruin the challenge of this run, given the limited encounters. Because even if we have limited recruits, we can take any Digimon and evolve them into any other Digimon we want by evolving path through a certain way. And that kind of defeats the point of a Nuzlocke, so we need to restrict evolutions somehow. So let's get this Wormmon in a position where it can... Let's get the Wormmon into a position where it can evolve. Okay, we don't need things. So, now that our Wormmon, Space 12, let's ignore dead for a moment. So, now that we have it, it's ready to evolve, right? Our max level is 15. A freshly converted rookie has a max level of 15. And that means, well, in this case, it doesn't lock any of our evolutions, but Wormmon would need to level up some more in order to get enough attack to evolve to Kuwagamon, or speed to evolve into Stingmon. But we can evolve into Waspmon, Kabuterimon, or Ice Devimon right now. We can also de-digivolve to Yokomon, but I want to talk about de-digivolution a little later, so we're going to evolve into something. But once we do, we're going to be locked into that champion stage for the rest of the game. Ice Devimon, Ice Devimon's really good, right? It can get Spirit Trained by level up. It has defense penetrating attack. Actually, so do Quagmon and Stingmon, wow. It's like we can evolve into Ice Devimon, Kabuterimon, or Waspmon at this point. Quagmon and Stingmon are out of our reach. If we wanted to evolve into them, we'd have to de-digivolve and evolve back up to increase our max level. But say we don't want to do that. Like, what you could do, right, and something that I would have done in my No Items, No Death run, is I'd evolve to Ice Devimon, learn Spirit Drain, de-digivolve into something that's not Wormmon, then evolve to something else in order to get really good healing moves, maybe get to Tyrannomon for acceleration boost, and then get them all onto one Digimon that I'm planning to evolve into a Mega I want for the second half of the game. That's not going to fly here. In order to limit the kind of movesets we can use, we're going to still have some player choice available, right? We can still pick what evolution do we want, but that's going to be our champion stage. So we can only have either Ice Devimon, Kabuterimon, or Waspmon as our champion. Or Kawagomon or Stingmon, but those require a bit more work. Right, oh, attack 54? Oh, and Kawagomon only requires an attack of 55. If we wanted Kawagomon, that's something we could do by de-digivolving, evolving back up, and then getting attack 55. But instead, I'm going to decide, you know what, I want Ice Devimon. Ice Devimon is really, really good. Defense penetrating medium water attack on one foe. So its special move has defense penetration. Its support skill, think abilities in Pokemon. It makes our team immune to confusion, or panic is another term this game uses. So Ice Devimon would be immune to panic. It gives that to our entire party. And it learns Spirit Train by level up. So I think, you know what? I want Ice Devimon. I'm going to evolve to Ice Devimon. But now, if I can't, at this point, I can't revert to anything and evolve to something else. Ice Devimon is locked as its champion for the game, and Wormmon is locked as its rookie. That means we cannot de-digivolve to Impmon or Demi-Devimon. Alright, Demi-Devimon would let us evolve to Devimon to get physical drain for a mixed attacker. That's not gonna be something we can do. And then Impmon would let us evolve to Sorcerymon to get X heal if we wanted to make a better cleric. That is also not something we can do. Once we have Ice Devimon, that's our champion. And then we have some possibilities for Ultimate, not Arcadiumon Ultimate, because that requires clearing Hacker's memory. But the other four, we could get one of those. And if we needed to de-digivolve, we can only de-digivolve to Wormmon. And something that helps keep track of the evolutions is the fact that the nickname will stay. So we can say, hey, Space 12 Dead, that was our Wormmon, now it's an Ice Devimon. And then if we want to de-digivolve, say Myotismon and Lady Devimon both require 10 ABI. Right now, Ice Devimon only has 1 or 3 ABI. So in order to bring the ABI up, you'd de-digivolve in order to get more, and then you'd evolve back up in order to make sure it has enough ABI. Right, some ultimates like Myotismon and Lady Devimon require ABI, but every Mega requires at least some, so in order to get the Mega, you'd have to de-digivolve at least once. That's why we're going to be locking stages, both going forward and going back. One other thing. There are a few exceptions to this, what I'm calling the linear evolution clause rule. There are a few Digimon that make that too restricting. These are all, I'm pretty sure they're both near the bottom. Yeah. One of these is Shoutmon. Shoutmon's only evolution is Omni Shoutmon. Shoutmon has no printed stage, but he is a rookie for all intents and purposes, right? 5 memory, has the same stats that you would expect of a rookie. Learns 2 inherited skills, 1 at level 6 or 1 at level 12. Right, he's a rookie. But he can't evolve into a champion. He's only able to evolve into Omni Shoutmon, who has the same stats, move pool, and memory cost as a Mega. So it's basically the equivalent of skipping 2 stages. Shoutmon is not going to lock the rookie spot. So if you wanted a Koromon to evolve into something else, you can get that up to Ultimate. You can evolve back down, get Shoutmon, and once it's ready to evolve to Omni Shoutmon can lock the Mega spot. The other exception is Flamedramon. Flamedramon cannot evolve at all. And it has the same, or it's classified as armor, but it has the memory cost, move pool, and stats of a champion. So it's essentially a champion in all but name. It can't evolve further. The only way you can pass Flamedramon's moves onto something stronger is to de-digivolve down to Vmon and evolve to something else. So Flamedramon is not going to lock the champion slot. Magnamon, on the other hand, it's the equivalent of a Mega. It can evolve from 2 different things. Magnamon and Golden Rapidmon will lock the Mega slot, but they will not evolve the champions. Flamedramon will not lock the champion slot. So it could evolve into XVmon or Vdramon, and then go up to an Ultimate. Right, go up to an Ultimate or even a Mega. But so you can evolve into a different champion to get to something stronger. Flamedramon is not going to lock the champion slot. But those are 2 exceptions. The rule is going to be, you take a Digimon, say Wormmon, you evolve into one thing, and then it can only evolve into one other thing. And then if you need to de-digivolve, you have to go back the way you came, and then land on a single final form. So you only get the inherited skills from that line. That's something that can, it gives, right, it makes the choices for what you evolve into matter a bit more. And you can't make a really overpowered Digimon with all the best inherited skills. That's going to be the extra rule that I add to the Nuzlocke. So we've got essentially 4 rules. 1, you get one conversion per area. If you get more than 1 conversion at the same time, you convert both to reset their scan rate. One gets a nickname and you can use it in your team. The other does not get a nickname and remains in the bank forever. Second rule, if a Digimon dies during battle and does not revive, and does not get revived by a revival skill, revival capsules are banned, revival skills are allowed. That Digimon is dead. Add dead to the nickname, and instead of reverting it to data, because that will increase its scan rate to 100, put it in the bank, and again, leave dead in its name so we know that that Digimon is dead. We can't use it. Third rule, nickname all Digimon. This is, right, I mean, it's a rule in Pokemon Nuzlocke. It's going to be a rule here, and it's more important here because of how encounters, death, and evolution work. And our evolution clause is you only get one species per evolutionary stage on each Digimon. Alright. With all of that said, most episodes or most streams of this Nuzlocke are going to be on Sundays, but today we have Easter weekend. I am going to be starting this tomorrow on a Monday. I hope you tune in. This has been DracoFlame67, and see you in the Nuzlocke.